Hello, my name is Kelly Bluin. I am a certified Zentangle teacher. Welcome to 15 Minutes of Zen. In this video, we're going to draw a little tangle using the Zentangle method of drawing. I'm using a Micron PN plastic nib pen, a graphite pencil to do some drawing and shading, and a tortillion for blending. I'm also using a little 2" by 2" tile. All of these products are available from Zentangle.com, or you can message me on my Facebook page called Let's Tangle. Today we're doing Lobella by Nancy Robinson, a CZT. Flip this over, and I'm going to start by putting a dot in each of the four corners to create the corners of our little frame. After I do the dots, I very lightly with my pencil connect them. Just like that. Okay, for this tangle, I'm going to pick up my pen and I'm going to show you on the back the shape that we're going to make. So we start by making sort of an upside down teardrop. So we go up and come down, and then we go around and curl. So I'm going to curve up to the left, come down like a teardrop, and make that curl. I love this one because I really love drawing spirals. Let me fix my light here. Okay. So I'm going to be making 3 of these Lobella shapes. So I'm going to put one up over here, and I'm going to let my pen just go right over my frame. If you don't want yours to go over the frame, that is up to you. So I'm going to go up and around like this and come down and do a curve. I made this part kind of long. And then I'm going to add 2 more of those teardrop shapes. One on this side and one on that side. Okay, so to finish Lobella, inside each of these teardrops, we're going to put 2 more spirals. So I'm going to start at the very bottom, and I'm going to curve up along the top, and I'm going to do one up here and then one down below it. So I curve up here, I do that little curve, and I come down here and do another one. All the way up towards the top and down at the bottom. Up towards the top and down at the bottom. And to finish Lobella, we add another little spiral in here, and it kind of brings those petals together. Just like that. Isn't that so pretty? I love it. And I'm going to do 2 more. So I'm going to put one down in this corner, kind of more on the side than the corner. So I'm going to turn my paper a little bit, and I start by making that upside down teardrop shape, and then I curve around on the bottom. I made my bottom really long just so it would bump into the other one. And then I put a teardrop on each side. Put in a spiral towards the top and a spiral towards the bottom. Feel free to play around with this. You can alternate. Like I could do the spiral on one side and the spiral on the other. All of these tangle patterns are meant to be played with. Add some spirals in between those petals to put them together. All right, I'm going to do another one right in here. And I want this one to be big enough that it bumps into the other ones. Does that make sense? I don't really want three just floating around. I want them sort of bumping and overlapping. So before I do that, I'm going to outline or aura the two that I already made, just to kind of make those a little bit bigger, take up a little more space on my tile. And I'm going to put a big one right in here. So that teardrop shape. And I'm just letting all of those overlap. Put a petal off of each side. And I'm letting mine tuck in behind the other ones. Then I put in those spirals. So this one I have to imagine where it would go behind and come out the other side. Same with this one, I'm going to imagine it coming up and coming out the other side. A couple little spirals in between those petals. And I'm going to outline this whole shape also. So when I do the outline, I actually start at the top of that stem and I come out. And my outline just goes all the way around, comes out the other side and tucks back up into that stem. Now I'm going to draw in my frame. So I'm just tracing that line, and when I bump into one of my Lobella shapes, I just pick up my pen, come out the other side. I'm going to give this one a double frame, which means I'm going to add an aura along the outside. Paying attention to where it might come out depending on where your little petals landed. And if you'd like to add some more detail, you can add some bumps. To the side of your frame. You don't have to do this, but it adds a cute little detail. And then before I shade it, I'm going to add some weight to some of these lines. So on this first petal here, I'm going to add some weight just by darkening that right-hand side of that petal. And I'm going to darken the right-hand side of each of these petals. There's no correct way to do this. There's no right or wrong way. But adding that little bit of darkening changes it up a little bit. So don't overthink it. We're not making a shadow. Just thickening some lines and adding some interest. Same thing over here. And if you'd like to add any thickening on your stem, you could do that. I don't know if it's really a stem, whatever this curved line is, I guess. All right, I'm going to stop there. You could add some darkening to the spirals also if you wanted, but I think I'm just going to leave it as is for right now. And I'm going to pick up my pencil for a little bit of shading. So to shade these, I want to first go to that spiral that connects the two petals, and I want to put some shading deep down in that little crevice. And when I do that and smooth it out, it just gives that illusion that those are tucked in down behind. So I'm going to do that. On each of those, put in just a little bit. Spreading that out. Then on the petals, I'm going to put some in the very bottom of each petal and push it up towards that right side. So just a little bit of graphite and pushing it up towards that right side where it's darker already from the ink. And this one here. Pushing it up and out. Okay, now I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to go around the outside of this entire tangle. Because I don't want this to look flat. And by adding this little bit of graphite around the whole thing, it's going to make that whole shape pop off the page. So I'm outlining the whole thing. Then I'm also going to add some graphite to the petals that overlap. So this whole piece here goes over this middle one. So I put some graphite on the outside of that to create a shadow. And this first one we made goes over the middle one. So I need some graphite right there to create a shadow. Take my tortillion. I'm going to do those inside shadows first so I don't forget about them. Then I'm going to do those outside shadows. Now I kind of put a lot of graphite. You don't need this much, but I like it nice and dark right against the tangle, and then I want it to get lighter the further away it goes. So this here should be smoother, but I've got kind of a lot of graphite. Smoothing it all out. It's so cute. I love that. And then sometimes I'll put some graphite on the inside of the frame to give it a little bit of dimension. And I can do that just by rubbing my tortillion against it, because my tortillion already has some graphite on it. And if you'd like to make shadows of the stem parts, you can just follow along those shapes. So see, I just followed along beside it, almost like an aura, and it gives that little bit of a shadow. That is it. That's Lobella. I'm going to put my initials on my work. And then on the back, I'll add the date and a sentence about what's going on in my life right now. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope you find ways to incorporate this with other tangles. And we'll see you next time. Thank you.